for your team, but let's talk about my team, the Colts. There's some big news in that department. Anthony Richardson officially benched. Shan Steichen comes out and says Joe Flacco is the starter. What do you think about that moving forward? Zach, what's your opinion on that?
Well, last week we talked about how Tua came back from injury, and that opened up everything for all the other players on that offense. Well, that's the same thing with the Colts with Joe Flacco coming in for Anthony Richardson. Now, all of a sudden, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, all these guys are going to be startable in fantasy instead of just guys that take up space on your bench.
I agree completely. I mean, the Anthony Richardson experiment makes the entire team like a wasteland. All the receivers, even the defensive players, their chances of winning games are just not as good with Joe Flacco at quarterback. But having Anthony Richardson on your team, that's what it is. It's the experiment. When they drafted this guy, they didn't know if he could pass the ball. He wasn't a good passer. He wasn't even a top pick coming into the combine, but he just was off the charts in the metrics department, got him drafted high, and now they're trying to see if he can pass the ball. And we've seen him be able to throw the deep ball. He's been able to do it, but he can't make the layups. He can't make those easy completions. I do think that he will get another chance, and I'm hopeful that he will learn to pass the ball a little bit better than he's currently in. I think he's at 44% completion percentage so far this year. John Elway was drafted by the Colts, 47.5% completion, and the Colts got rid of him, and then he went on to become one of the greatest quarterbacks. So hopefully we see something down the line of that.
Yeah, Zach, what are you thinking there about that John Elway comment?
Well, John Elway never actually played for the Colts. I just wanted to be clear about that. His completion percentage was on the Broncos from the very get-go. But, I mean, that doesn't change the fact that he struggled out of the gate. I think teams aren't patient enough with quarterbacks. We've seen guys struggle early on. They move around team to team, and then all of a sudden, Geno Smith or Sam Darnold looks pretty good this year. Jameis Winston, maybe he's something now. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So Anthony Richardson's career is not over, but this is definitely a pretty big bump in the road.
Remember, he is 22, and he's got time.
Yeah, as a Colts fan, I really wanted to see Anthony Richardson succeed, but also for this season, like I'm now excited to see what Joe Flacco has for the season. I mean, the Colts could still make the playoffs. With Richardson or with Flacco, they've been a competitive team. No one won a one-possession game during any of their losses this season. And Joe Flacco just looked in season, and he looked great with the Browns last year. So I'm just really excited for this season. And then also, I agree with Eric. I don't think the Colts. I think we're going to see AR again, even in a Colts uniform. And probably it depends on how things go. But be nice lose some games and the playoffs are out of reach, we're going to see AR come back in. There's not really a point in having old man Flacco at that point, even if he is having good games.
Can Joe Flacco win the comeback player of the year twice, or is that not possible?
Come back and then come back again.
Yeah,
he won it last year. You'd have to at least take a gap between comeback player years. You can't come back. I want to see him get
you're already there. I mean, you're the backup quarterback. I mean, you come in and you get into the playoffs. I'd vote for him.
The Colts were the only team in the NFL that offered him a contract. Nobody else wanted him, and the Colts gave him a backup job. I think that's comeback eligible.
Let's talk about one other thing that happened. Anthony Richardson was in the game and took himself out of the game. Afterwards, at the press conference, says, "Hey, what's the deal? Why'd you take yourself out of the game?" And he said, "I'm not going to lie. I'm tired." What do you guys think about a quarterback taking himself out of the game, or yet alone any player taking themselves out of the game in that kind of position?
It's not a good look.
Is that why he got benched, or is it his play in general?
That was the play as well. I want to bring that.
It didn't help.
That was an important play.
But I think this had a lot going into it. So.
And there's other rushing quarterbacks, Michael Vick. I mean, there's other quarterbacks, and I can't remember a single instance where one of those rushing quarterbacks had a run for 30, 40 yards horizontally, vertically, wherever they ran, and said, yeah, I'm going to take a break. We've seen it with running backs, maybe a little bit, but not a quarterback, not the leader of the entire team.
I do think Donovan McNabb had some sort of incident where he threw up in the huddle or something like that.
Did he leave the game or he stayed in the huddle?
He did not leave the game, so I guess that gets him out of it.
And we saw a play.
AR's in his early 20s. I mean, like, he just doesn't. I think that if he's still in the NFL in 10 years, no matter how tired he is, he's never going to take himself out of the game.
And I think,
experience.
Speaking of throwing up on the ball, I think Carolina's maybe their center threw up on the ball. Oh no, it was Green Bay. Green Bay center threw up on the ball, gave it to the quarterback, and they're like, "Why didn't you throw it?" He's like, "He threw up all over the ball."
I missed that somehow.
I got
that was great. His coach stayed in though, right? Like, why didn't you throw it? And he said there was puke all over the ball. Oh
okay,
man,
I got it.
Oh, he's got it. Jason's on it. Pulls it up.
I think
pulls it up.
Center. When does it happen though?
No, we got to watch the whole game on
Is this it? I don't know where it was. Here it is. This has got to be it. Watch it. Oh,
yeah, that's it right there. Puke's on the ball.
And then they asked.
And he hikes it. He just hikes it.
What do you think that nose tackle on the Colts is thinking when that happens? Like, he has been like laughing.
Probably just like no way.
Watch, here it is. And then watch Willis. I think Willis gets in trouble for like not passing the ball or something.
Or no, he handed it off.
I think it was an
RPO. Throw it.
I think it was an RPO. He was supposed to throw it, and LaFleur's like, "Why did you do that?" And he's like, "I never threw the ball with puke on it before. I didn't want to do it."
Yeah, the
but still, you're risking a fumble.
Okay.
Like
all right, but let's go on, guys. Let's hit the Texans. We got a story with the Texans.